When it comes to learning, I don't really like to think in terms of specific subjects and just sort of singling out different things according to its subject. I am a firm believer in what is known as thematic learning or cross-curricular learning, whatever it is that you want to call it. And we should really try to be learning, also what we're interested in. And this is where it comes to this idea of thematic learning, like why we should be maybe picking a theme or having that one overarching idea or subject that will, encompass all the different subjects. It is really super easy to put together, honestly, and it is fun. And I want to talk today about why I love thematic learning and show you how I can take a theme and an idea and put together a curriculum really quite easily. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life. Thank you so much for watching today. I want to talk about thematic learning because you see, if you know me, I love education and I love learning to come alive. And if you ever want to constrain me, just put me in a situation where I have to teach only one subject at a time, like in a certain way that is devoid of any sort of the other subjects. But honestly, and especially in the younger grades, my goodness, everything really sort of works so well together. So why are we separating and saying, this is history, this is science, this is this, this is this, this is this, when quite frankly, a lot of the skills go across all of it. And when we can tie it all together, it really is an amazing thing. Our vocab and our spelling should be coming from the books that we are reading, like in English, that can also be in history. Don't just give 20 vocab words in a list that are not related to what we're learning. Please don't. So I just really struggle with that. And I just really like just making things come alive, having that theme, having that idea. Now, if you like videos like this, why not like or subscribe, and share it with your friends? Shoot me a comment about what you like about thematic learning or about education or parenting, because I love to bring these to you. I love to bring these ideas that maybe it is new to you, or maybe it's like, oh yeah, this is something I'd forgotten about thematic learning. And see, I think I was spoiled by some fantastic teachers who did teach in this way. I remember 4th grade, year 4, and a teacher, and she always just picked an idea. I remember Japan, and I remember that we did Japanese art, and we read Japanese stories like Sudoku and the 1,000 Paper Cranes. We made paper cranes. We looked at the science and the technology. We looked at culture, at food, at all of these different things. And everything was just all tied in together. We learned about Japan. And it wasn't really until much later, probably back at Teachers College, when I'm looking at it going, yeah, really, look, all those subjects were there. But we didn't think about that. We weren't thinking, oh, this is social studies, and this is science, and this is English, and this is art. It was just all together. And then that's the way that I was sort of taught to teach. And I love this. To me, there is something so wonderful and enriching about taking an idea, a theme, and building it and putting it all together. And honestly, that's what thematic learning is. It's cross-curricular, curriculum really meaning those subjects. You see, the skills that we do learn in English, with our grammar, our reading, our writing, they are skills that are needed in history and in science and in social studies and in geography and all those other subjects. They are all intertwined. So let's intertwine them again and bring them back under this idea. I love curriculum that will do that. I have found one that I really like and have taught moving beyond the page, because they do that. What you're learning in English, the theme there in English, you're also doing in social studies and in science. To me, it just makes things come alive. Now, I taught on a ship for a couple of years, and we had family and of the crew and the staff on board. So we had our own school. And I shared the older class with a fellow teacher, and she and I both gelled and we connected. And so we love to sort of give projects and to teach thematically as well. And one time we gave the children a project and let them run with it. and didn't really tell them the reasons why until afterwards. And so they came up together with their idea of doing a fun sort of performance night for the ship's crew and staff and everything. And we watched as our students wrote scripts, put together the program. They recorded and edited the music. They were like programming and ideas for lights. They were doing the marketing and the posters, and they were organizing people and running rehearsals and then running this night. And I remember like during it, they'd be like, when are we doing math? Are we doing science today? Like, what about? And it wasn't until the end that we showed them, look, here were all your subjects together. Look at that. In writing scripts, that is English. In looking at the cultural songs and dances, you were actually researching and studying different cultures. The technology side of you were putting together lighting and music. And in math, you were trying to work out how we could create it all within a certain amount of time. Marketing and the art and all of this. And to watch their eyes and their little minds blown. You see, they were like, wow, it can all come together. Like, yes, absolutely. It can all come together. And it really is quite easy. I don't want you to be like freaking out and be like, oh, but how do I do it? Let me just show you. Now, my girls are kindergarten, and I love doing thematic learning with them. And really, I'm not following a set curriculum just because to me, well, it's kindergarten and it's fun. And I really, really, really love to build on interest. And of course, we are doing our phonics and our basic math and handwriting, of course. That's me. We're going to have that. But I let them pick the theme for the week. And that is what we base really all of our activities and our skills that we're learning around. So, for example, they wanted to learn about China because I teach English to Chinese children. And so they were like, oh, let's learn about China. So we did. We looked up interesting facts about China, and we learned about some of the festivals and the different foods and some of the landmarks that we would see over there. We went to the zoo and we saw the pandas. They love pandas. So we could talk about, well, they come from China and all of those different things. We read, so the books that I picked for the week, our reading focus were books based on China. So instead of just using like kindergarten primers, we actually picked books like from China, like my favorite Tiki Tiki Tembo and the 7 Chinese Brothers, and we read those, and they were able to pull out words and vocab from that, and we were able to talk about that. We're not at a point that we're writing stories, but they could tell me stories based on what we had been learning and reading. We looked up dumplings and making dumplings. We watched Mulan. We ate Chinese food. And to them, they learned so much. Oh, we made dragons, all of these different things. Especially for kindergarten, you can see how easy it is, but you can actually do that through all the different grades, finding something that they're interested in. And now the unit of work I did with some older students, again, on the ship was intolerance. And we looked at that idea of intolerance. And so we read the story, The Education of Little Tree, which is a great book. We actually watched the movie too. But I had them do a personal interest project, and they had to pick a country and look at how intolerance has been like through their history to the native people of that country, like how different things have happened, how it's changed, what's gone on. So they were combining social studies and history and all of that together. And we worked like on that theme. We looked at scientific advancements and all of those different things. And is intolerance in that? How do we do it? And to watch how a theme can come alive and these subjects so connect well together, because the skills we're learning, like in English, yes, history and English combined, social studies and English, like it all combines. And you watch that and it's great. You can pick a theme like goats. Go ahead, find fun facts about goats. What do they eat? What do they look like? Where do they live? Go and pat some goats. It's about bringing all these ideas together and letting everything flow together, because when you're cooking, you are using English, you're also using science, you're also using math. All of these come together. And if you're cooking a cultural food, guess what? You're bringing social studies in there too. And to me, that's my biggest heart for any child really, is that they would love to learn. It's what I want for my girls. It's what, I've always had this love to learn. Thank you to my teachers that taught me to love to learn. And I want to instill that. And so if you want some ideas like, well, how can I incorporate more thematic? Shoot me a message. I would love to help you. Give me a theme. I'll give you ideas. And it is super easy. It really is. I don't want you to sort of freak out and go, well, how can she just do it so easily? Maybe that's the way my brain is wired and that's the way I love to learn. But I think that when we love to learn and we're learning what we're interested in and we're learning on that theme, then, we really do make education come alive. So if you have some suggestions or you want some ideas, please shoot me a message. And if you like these videos and want to see more of it, maybe you could join us as a champion through Patreon so that we can get further material out like this. Thank you so much for watching today.